Hey, do you know what time it is? That's right. It's time for Coach Lindy's podcast. The podcast to get you moving. Hi, I'm Lindy Hutchinson, a certified life mastery consultant with the Brave Thinking Institute. As a life coach, I help others transform their life as I have mine. It's not easy, but it is possible, and it most certainly is worth it. Each week, I'll share insights that inform, inspire, and ignite in you your desire to create a life that you love. So let's find out what's going on this week. Welcome to the podcast. Last episode, episode 84, we talked about how we're going to highlight those who were the pioneers of women's rights, the suffragettes. And most were women, but there were men also who worked hard to bring about these changes. Last week, we talked about Susan B. Anthony, probably the most recognized name when it comes to the history of the suffragettes. Well, Susan B. had a buddy, a friend, and these ladies met when they were in their 30s, but they spent decades working together, and they were most definitely a force to be reckoned with. And that person is our featured guest of sorts, Elizabeth Caty Stanton. If you are seeing the video, that's Elizabeth. And I think this is kind of cute. If you're not seeing this, look it up sometime. Susan B. Anthony and her friend Elizabeth Caty Stanton. These ladies were so different in personality, in even physical composition. Susan B. Was tall, thin, and she always wore her hair back in kind of a bun, kind of looked like a marm. She never married and she never had children. Elizabeth, on the other hand, was plump. And she was married and she had 7 kids. And yet both of these ladies, here's for those of you watching the video, if not, look this up on Google it. Susan B. and her friend. It's very cute. And to know that these ladies, though they were very different, they had a shared passion. And that was the rights of women and to free slaves. Now, Elizabeth was born in 1815 and she died in 1902. So she did not live long enough to see women win the right to vote, the 19th Amendment in 1920. But we know that she was most definitely one of the forerunners. Now, Elizabeth, unlike Susan B., was born into privilege in Johnstown, New York. Her dad was very wealthy. Her family was very wealthy. She was raised in a mansion. And, she could have been like, well, let me write a check. This cause sounds good, but let me write a check and we'll call it a day, which a lot of people do. And that's okay. But instead, her dad, who was very forward thinking, he wanted women, including his daughters, to get an education. Well, Elizabeth was not too happy when she discovered that universities did not accept female applicants. So she ignited in her was a desire to change that. And that's what she spent the rest of her life doing. So she was okay with being inconvenienced to start up rallies, to get people aware what was going on. And then she was in charge of setting up in 1848 the Seneca Falls Convention, and the first convention that was only for and only about rights for women. And she wrote the Declaration of Sentiments. And again, that was addressing the rights of women, making people aware. And then in 1851, she met who was going to become her longtime buddy, Susan B. And together, they were terrifying, I'm sure, to anyone who did not want the rights for women and to free slaves. So these women together, there's books and magazines and movies written and put together about these women. And sometime when you have a chance, of course, you know my favorite source is YouTube because it's free. But also look up information about Elizabeth Caty Stanton and Susan B. Anthony because they were pretty amazing together. They said that as different as the women were physically and in their background, they both shared this fiery passion to bring about just equality, rights for everyone. And the good that they did, we enjoy today. They were most definitely powerful forces. And in honor of Stanton's 87th birthday, in Pearson's magazine, Susan B. Anthony wrote this: "It is 51 years since we first met, and we have been busy through every one of them, stirring up the world to recognize the rights of women." And she wrote more. We can see how the passion to do the right thing was in both women, and especially in Elizabeth being married and having 7 kids. She had a lot on her plate, so to speak. So today's focus is suffragettes. Ours this week is Elizabeth Caty Stanton. And our word is inconvenienced. And our train your brain thought is that Elizabeth Caty was willing to be inconvenienced for freedom. And that's how we want to be. We want to be willing to step out, step in front, and speak up for other people's rights because it serves all of us. So that's it for this week. 2 ladies who are friends, and they champion the rights of everybody. And that's what we want to do. So, from our Hey That's Funny file, Brian Regan. If you don't know Brian, look up Brian. He is ridiculous and hilarious. He says, "I read that more and more adult children are living with their elderly parents. Is that what you read, Mom?" Thanks, Brian. All right, well, enjoy your week, and I'll look forward to seeing you again. And we're going to find out there is a third friend of Susan B. and Elizabeth Caty. Take care. Hey, thanks for joining me this week. I look forward to being with you every week. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, please email me at coachlindy@lindyhutchinson.com. My name is spelled Lyndi, so it's Coach Lindy, Lyndi, at Lindy Hutchinson, LYNDIHUTCHINSON.com. I value what your input is, and I'm always open for suggestions and ideas. If you will like and or subscribe to this podcast, that would be wonderful. I appreciate it. And I enjoy anything that you might want to send in, or if you would like some more information about coaching, send me an email and I will get back with you, and we'll talk about how you can create your best life. Have a good week. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.